This is the Mistress Carrie Situation Report for March 18th, 2024. Your daily entertainment headlines, industry info, and everything rock. Production on the sequel of This Is Spinal Tap is officially underway in New Orleans, according to Castle Rock Entertainment. The upcoming film, arriving 40 years after the original Spinal Tap, is set to feature A-list celebrity cameos from Sir Elton John, Sir Paul McCartney, Questlove, Garth Brooks, and Trisha Yearwood. Christopher Guest, Michael McKean, and Harry Shearer are back as Spinal Tap members Nigel Tufnell, David St. Hubbins, and Derek Smalls. With Rob Reiner reprising his role as documentarian Marty DeBurgi, he will also serve as the film's actual director. No word on when we can expect the release of the upcoming new Spinal Tap. Mark Knopfler's re-recorded version of his song Going Home has been shared, starring some of the biggest names in the rock world. The track was released on Friday and sees all of the funds raised being donated to the Teenage Cancer Trust and Teen Cancer America. The Dire Straits frontman is joined by Brian May from Queen, Bruce Springsteen, Tony Iommi from Black Sabbath, Eric Clapton, Ron Wood from the Rolling Stones, plus Ringo Starr, Sting, Roger Daltrey, the final recordings of Jeff Beck, Sheryl Crow, Peter Frampton, Vince Gill, David Gilmour, Joan Jett, Steve Lukather, Tom Morello, Brad Paisley, Nile Rodgers, Mike Rutherford, Joe Satriani, Slash, Andy Taylor, Pete Townsend, Keith Urban, Steve Vai, Joe Walsh, and more. AC/DC's Brian Johnson and Mark Knopfler are set to star in a new documentary series named Johnson and Knopfler's Music Legends. The 6-part series will see the two classic rockers exploring the lives of 6 other music legends. Set to run weekly on Sky Arts starting on April 25th, the series will feature Tom Jones, Sam Fender, Cyndi Lauper, Nile Rodgers, Carlos Santana, and Emmylou Harris. Queen have announced Queen Rock Montreal, the deluxe release. Various editions of the concert album and film are set to be released on May 10th. Following the success of Queen Rock Montreal in the theatrical run on IMAX, they've announced deluxe releases of the iconic concert. Queen Rock Montreal captures the iconic band at the very peak of their live powers, recorded in 1981, and recently released as a record-breaking digitally restored IMAX concert film. Elton John is saying he's currently working on 2 musicals and is already open to ideas regarding a third. Speaking to The Sun at the 32nd annual Elton John AIDS Foundation Oscars viewing party, saying the first of the musicals is The Devil Wears Prada, which premiered back in the UK in July, and Tammy Faye, which recently located to the Nederlander Theater on Broadway. Saying, quote, "As for a catalog musical, we're always looking at it. I haven't found anything yet that really covers. I think if we wanted to do it, we would want to do it in a way that's really innovative and really exciting and different." Jon Bon Jovi said in a recent interview that he has not been in contact with former bandmate and guitarist Richie Sambora, despite both musicians participating in the upcoming Bon Jovi docuseries, Thank You, Good Night, The Bon Jovi Story. The 4-part series debuts on Hulu on April 26th. Jon Bon Jovi saying we're not in contact because he's not in the organization any longer. Doesn't mean that there's not love forever, but it's 11 years ago that he just didn't show up anymore. There were emotional issues that he was dealing with as a single dad, and there were substance abuse issues that, Phil X had to show up at one point, and then Phil X had to show up at another time, and then again, and there's a show that night, and what are we going to do? Bon Jovi also recently announced a new album titled Forever, set for release on June 7th. The lead single, Legendary, is available now. Noodles from the Offspring, in a recent interview, said that the band's upcoming album, the follow-up to 2021's Let the Bad Times Roll, is almost finished. Saying, quote, "We've been working on a bunch of new stuff. The record's almost done. We're hoping to be done in the next couple of months and have it released at the end of the year." Historic status has been awarded to the Birmingham pub dubbed the birthplace of heavy metal, where Black Sabbath made their debut. The band played their first gig at the Crown, which has now been saved from potential demolition by its newly listed status. The Crown Pub in Birmingham is where Black Sabbath, then called Earth, played their first show in 1968. It also hosted performances from other influential acts, including Led Zeppelin. It's been derelict since 2014, and campaigners feared that it would be lost forever as the Station Street area of Birmingham faces a challenging future. Tony Iommi said cities all over the UK are protecting their musical heritage. Birmingham shouldn't be left behind. The Crown has huge significance to us and many other successful acts. Mike Tyson is set to return to the ring for the first time in 19 years on July 20th, fighting YouTuber and professional boxer Jake Paul at AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. And now, according to Maynard James Keenan, Mike Tyson has been training at the Verde Valley BJJ gym where Maynard James Keenan works out, saying online, quote, "Honored to have Mike Tyson grace our small town academy, Verde Valley BJJ. His training camp for Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson began under our roof. Going to be bragging about that for a bit, long after y'all are tired of hearing about it, so deal with it." Paul Simon says his hearing is coming back, saying, quote, "Nobody has an explanation for it, so everything became more difficult. My reaction to that was frustration and annoyance, not quite anger yet, because I thought it would pass and that it would repair itself." Saying, "I can hear my voice the way that I want to in the context of the music. If there's a drum or electric guitar, it's too loud and I can't hear my voice. But when I first lost the hearing, I couldn't get it and it threw me off. Everything was coming from this side." Pearl Jam frontman Eddie Vedder admits that he sees similarities between Taylor Swift's fans and the punk rock communities of his youth. After seeing Taylor Swift in concert, he said, quote, "The run-up to it, making friendship bracelets with her, and the generosity of these young girls and boys, trading these bracelets with different messages on them, lyrics, song titles, just acts of goodwill with these little bracelets. They have found their tribe. They were all agreeing on something." Axl Rose has filed a motion to dismiss the sexual assault lawsuit that was made against him in late 2023. In the lawsuit filed in New York Superior Court, model Sheila Kennedy says the alleged sexual assault happened in 1989. She claims she was 26 and he was 27 when they first met at a nightclub in New York. Upon meeting, Rose is said to have invited Kennedy to his hotel room. The lawsuit claims Rose then knocked her to the floor and grabbed her by the hair and dragged her across the suite back to his bedroom. This caused her knees to bleed from scraping on the rug. And shooting on the Not Really a Bob Dylan biopic, A Complete Unknown, is currently underway in New York City. The first photos of Timothée Chalamet as the legendary singer-songwriter have emerged online. The long-in-the-works film, directed by James Mangold, traces Bob Dylan's journey from Minnesota to New York to meet Woody Guthrie through his memorable 1965 performance at the Newport Folk Festival when he plugged in an electric guitar to the dismay of folk fans. The film also stars Elle Fanning as Sylvie Russo, Monica Barbaro as Joan Baez, Nick Offerman as Alan Lomax, Boyd Holbrook as Johnny Cash, and while Benedict Cumberbatch was originally cast as Pete Seeger, the production delay because of the writer's strike forced him to drop out, with Edward Norton now in the Seeger role. And that's your sit rep. For more details on all of the stories, check the links in the show notes of this episode. And don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe to the Mistress Carrie Podcast. New full-length episodes come out every Wednesday. Episode 197, featuring Lauren Monroe and Rick Allen from Def Leppard, is available now.